welcome to this lab called Onboarding and Collaborating with Suppliers at Scale. My name is Jesse. I was the CEO and founder of a company called Unified. It was acquired a year ago by Akeneo. The platform we developed is now called Supplier Data Manager. And I'm on stage with Jordi, one of our eminent solution engineer, and Aude, that we will present to you later, one of the oldest, I mean, not you yourself, but the agent being the oldest SDM customer that is live, and that she will share experience working with us. So that's the agenda. For those who don't know about SDM, we will cover what it does briefly, and then we'll talk about the agent and how they use the platform. I will do a brief demo, and hopefully we'll have some time for questions from you guys afterwards. What is Supply Data Manager? So when we started the business 7 years ago, we met retailers and distributors finding a hard time collaborating because when you're a distributor, you want your suppliers to send you information that's formatted in the way you expect for your customers and for your markets. But when you are a manufacturer, you're working with 1, 2, 3, 10, 50 distributors that all have the same ask in a different granular way, and the time you spend enriching, transforming, cleansing the data just goes on and on and on, and at the end you're just doing the work for the first, second, third market, and the amount of efforts and time you will spend into cleansing the data will decrease because the marginal benefits of doing the work is going to decrease also. So we have customers complaining about the quality of the information they receive, which has a direct impact on margins and revenue and top line. We're going to talk about that in a second. I've done the work of looking at how our customers are behaving, and currently among the 400, 500 distributors that we have at Akeneo, most of them are still receiving, enriching, cleansing information in messy spreadsheets, in teams that are cramming with work and that don't have the time to do the work properly for themselves. Most of our distributors' customers deal with 300 suppliers. I think the biggest we have deals with thousands of 10,000s of suppliers. I think it's the biggest. It's a marketplace platform. But on average, our customers deal with 300, 500 suppliers on their end. So the spreadsheet, we were seeing that you'll have to do the work 300 times on average in order to have clean data for your catalog online and in your stores and your support system and so forth. And on average, between the moment they contractualize with a supplier, it takes them 4 to 5 months to get those products online and sold. The impact, the business impacts, all our customers share, say the same. The business impact of having wrong information shared by suppliers is direct. If you classify a product wrongly, your customers won't be able to find it. So I gathered some examples. Here you have a shirt for men that is classified under lady category, which means that all the men that will be browsing or using the search or navigating through the filters and the classification tree of said customer won't find the proper product, the product where it should be. So products that are not classified properly means product that can't be found, means product can't be sold, means dollars that you're not making. Same consequence. If you don't have the proper attributes describing a product, you either won't have the product found in your filters and your facets of your website, or if people actually find a product, they may end up not buying them. So here you have a couch, which is a pretty expensive product. You have the information in French, it's gray, but here you'll see it's red. The impact of the color of a couch being slightly important in the mood and ambience of the living room you're going to equip yourself with. You may not end up buying this product if you're not sure of what you're going to buy. Simple example showing that what you see on the website is foremost important, and if you don't get the right information, you're likely not going to return, to convert, or you're likely to return the product that you bought if the information is not correct. So how is Supply Data Manager helping our customers? Supply Data Manager aims at being the equivalent of Amazon Vendor Central, but for Akeneo customers. It's not on par as of today, but the idea is that we help our customers get product information from their suppliers as fast as possible into the system. We aim at helping people collaborating with each other, exchange information, at some point in the future communicate directly to each other to get the most beautiful and cleanest information in the system. It's a solution that's available with Akeneo PIM, but also as a standalone product, and that can connect to your ERP, your PIM, your pricing software, any system that you're using to store cold and hot product information. And with that, I will stop talking, and we'll let Aude and Yorbi share how they using SDM internally and with the suppliers.
Yeah, thank you, Jess, and welcome, Aude. Maybe just to start with, can you give us a bit of an introduction to who you are and who is the agent? Yeah.
Hello, everyone. I'm Aude. I'm a client success manager at The Agent. I've been working with Jess and Unify for the past 6 years. So what is The Agent? The Agent is a digital platform that helps fashion brands to develop on marketplaces, on different marketplaces. So we are live across 28 countries in terms of marketplaces, and we have fashion brands collaborating with us across Europe. Yeah, so...
So you're kind of like a distributor. You receive information,
exactly,
transform it, enrich it, and publish it somewhere else.
Exactly. Our proposal and our added value is to, yes, get the catalog, we enrich and we publish, we put the content to the guideline of the different websites, and then we are selling for the brands on the marketplaces. So I'm one of the sellers on Amazon, on Zalando, and so on.
So Jess spoke a lot about the challenges that our customers face before they start using Supplier Data Manager. Could you tell us a little bit about what kind of challenges the agent was facing when it comes to product data?
Yes. So we are having a lot of fashion brands in different languages. We are having a lot of data, mainly through email that we do have to normalize to be able to put the data in our PIM and sell the product. The main challenge is that language was the main challenge for us, and the different input from the brands that was usually a bit messy, although we do have a template that they have to fill. When you get a color that is tropical, you have to put it in green, and everything is manual. And therefore, the time to change all of this content to put it in the PIM was very long.
And did you use any tools before using SDM to help you with this process, or was it just all in Excel?
All in Excel, all manual, all by the merchandising team. So it was very long.
So that means you started looking for a new tool to help you with this process. What kind of features were you looking for specifically in this journey?
So first of all, we were developing the PIM at the point that we started the collaboration, and one of the things was to normalize the data. Being with different brands, with different languages, we wanted to have a file that was easy to upload in our PIM. So that was one of the topics. The topic of the portals was one of the topics that went very early on the discussion with the team, as we have several brands and we wanted to stop the exchange of emails. So we were looking at how can we empower the brands to work with us on their data and be autonomous in sending the data correctly, having a set of error reports. So and then how can we decrease the time of the merchandising team by secure the data? So that was as well important for us in our research. And how can we enrich faster? So right now we are using a lot of the module. So yeah, it matches everything. And I think we've been working for 6 years, 5 or 6 years. So some of the module were built like from the time. So at the beginning, it was more like normalization of the data. Then it was more extraction, and now more the portal. So we had different stages.
Yeah, so speaking about that portal, we obviously get a lot of doubt from our customers saying, our suppliers are never going to collaborate with us.
Yeah.
They don't want to use our tools. How did you manage to get your suppliers to collaborate with you in working within SDM?
So it was a very early discussion on the portals. And then by the time that they managed to build the portal and so on, we were like, we were thinking the same.
Come on, tell the truth.
Are they going to use it? Because we were so used to put the template in the SDM tool, and we knew the process, and we were fast at doing it. But at the same time, we want to remove the process of checking manually all the templates. So yeah, we had doubts. But first of all, the key was to build a great workflow. So by using the tool for a while and knowing all the different steps, basically we build the workflow as easy as possible for the brands that work with us. So we first have deep work on building the workflow, defining the steps that the brand would go to. And then how to collaborate. They didn't have a choice to make it simple, but we made it smooth. How is to let them know that if they want great content, they need to as well be part of this content. So they need to be empowered at giving us the right content. Second, I do think that momentum is different now. People 5 years ago was not as e-commerce friendly as they are now. So I do think they do have good content. They are more tech friendly. So it was easy in this way. And we help them and make the process smooth. How? Trainings, support with guidelines, videos, and then reviews, and asking for feedback to them so that they have the word as well to help us improve the workflow. So that's how we made it, and overall, great review so far from the brands. So yeah, they evaluate us, and we are like 3 to 4 stars at the first season, so hoping to have 5 stars next one. But yeah, overall, quite happy.
Did you get help from the SDM team on getting brands live on the platform?
Yes. So basically, we worked a lot with the SDM team on the workflow. So that was and all the error message and everything. So. And as well, they provided a lot of content for us to do the training with the brand. So they made it super easy for us by having already videos in the SDM portal for the brands, as well a list of all the aspects that we needed to show to brands. So yeah, so that's made it smooth. And yeah, I'm always curious of what is the workflow of the others, and if the others have better workflow than mine. So I'm asking a lot of questions to compare. And overall, we build a lot with them, so they have been really helpful.
Well, before we go to this one, actually, we mentioned the word workflow a lot, and obviously your suppliers are existing within that workflow.
Exactly.
Could you tell us a little bit about how many steps or what kind of steps your suppliers actually do for you?
Yes, we have 8 to 9 steps. 4 of them are for the brands, and the rest we are managing, because again, our added value is that we enrich for brands. So we want to keep the hand on our side in decision that we made. But basically, the step that they are doing is mapping at the beginning. They are doing a categorization with AI. So all the categories are mapped automatically with AI. They just have to simply check Why? Because afterward they have an error report based on this categorization, meaning that if I have a T-shirt, it's mandatory that they give me the sleeve length. Okay, so they have to go to the step of categorizing the item, and then they have an error report, simply something that everyone can relate, not to have 2 times the same EAN barcode, and something that can happen and that mess everything up, especially on marketplaces. So it's mainly error report, categorization, and then that's stop for them. And for us, we are doing all the extraction, normalization.
Can you describe what extraction is?
Yes. Extraction is, we have a whole set of attributes that we feel that the brand do not even know. And we feel it for the different marketplaces. And we used to have to fill it manually, but with the extraction, it goes to the different attributes that the brand feels, so that the description, if someone put long dress with V-neck and so on, then my attribute for the color is automatically filled from what it takes from the description. So that's the extraction part.
Thank you. Nice. So we all know money talks. What is the return on investment for the agent?
So I would say 2 things. First, on the human side, we are divided mainly in 2 teams, the account manager and the merchandising. So the quickest return on investment for us was on the merchandising team, because we used to have a lead time to integrate that was very long, but that was divided by 2 or 3 by using the SDM tool, simply on having less attributes to fill by hand. To give you an example, 50% of the attributes that we have to fill is now made by the extraction tool, so that's quite a lot. So it's more work to check the quality of the data rather than just doing it. So that's the part of the merchandising team. So really quicker to integrate. On the account manager side, that are the one that gets the template, now they have the portal. So they are not checking manually like all the templates, and they are not receiving the emails. The error check is automatically through the portal and the steps that the brands are doing. So there is an investment on the first season on the training of the brands, but that afterward in the next season, they will be autonomous. So that's the first part, is return on investment on the human cost inside the company. And then the return on investment is, as Jess mentioned, is the better the quality of your product page, and the faster you get, the better you sell. Since I am now able to put the product on the marketplace much faster than before, I can sell it before at the entrance of the season and make more money. So that's a first thing. So top line is much better. To give you an idea, I am able to integrate 2 times the amount that I was able 2 years ago, in 3 times less time than before. So it's quite a big change for us. And I would say the other financial one would be the bottom line for both the agent but the brands. Because yes, you do have your product online faster, but you have better content. And the better content means lowering the return rate, which is key in fashion. As you know, the Germans, they love to return everything. They have on average 70% return rate. So I want to have as much data as possible on the product page so that the consumer get an informed decision on what they are purchasing. So our return rate as well decreased by around 10% in 2 years, because I have better content. So I have measurements, and I have help for them, that was not possible before. Well, was longer to make.
So 2 times faster,
10%
faster on the market, 10% return reduction.
Exactly.
And you said something else.
Yeah, the human,
The time spent by your teams.
Exactly. I would rather have the team focusing on checking the data, making benchmark, make sure that they are aware of the evolution of the different marketplace rather than just being robot to just put red in red. They were translating red in rouge just because it was different languages. Doesn't make sense. It's not added value kind of task. So now their job have evolved. Exactly. Exactly, because you have more attributes. And as mentioned, if you look at, if you know a bit of marketplaces and especially Zalando, you are on different filters. So the more attributes you have, the better you are ranked in the filters. So I want to be one of the few that do make the effort to make a full product page so that I have better conversion. And it's true, our conversion increased and therefore revenue increased. Yeah.
So then, why now? Is it
Yeah.
the right time to invest in this solution?
Why now? But as I mentioned, I think people are more tech friendly. So I think people are used to use tool. E-commerce is more and more important. And since COVID, you can all see that it has increased a lot. So I think it's a good momentum because it's easy. People have the content. It's really easy to use. So I even have customers that didn't even have a need to make the training. They just made it on their own, and we're like, okay. So you made it, and it's perfect. So yeah, I think people are more open.
I don't know if you've seen, but you mentioned Zalando. Zalando partnered with OpenAI a few months ago for customers to just be able to ask for an AI to get product recommendations. Those AI can only work if they have the data and the attributes to make the actual recommendation.
Exactly.
So if you don't have the attributes for your product, then your product is invisible.
Yeah. And you don't want to just satisfy yourself on just the mandatory one, because the mandatory one is just 3 bullet points on the product page. You want to have the full list so you can really give a good perspective to the consumer.
And as we saw in the previous session, for those who were here, the marketplaces are pretty demanding when it comes to attributes, where they can have up to 180 attributes for a single product group.
Yeah.
So just talking about a little bit how you, as the agent, and your partners use SDM. We spoke about the workflows, but also how do they actually use the tool?
The partners or us internally?
Yeah, both.
Both. The partners, well, they use it 1 or 2 times per season with the portals. And us internally, we stop when the partners do the 4 steps, and then we do the 4 or 5, and then we integrate in our PIM. So we're not Akeneo user of the PIM, but we stop at the end, and yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So for those who've never seen the actual solution, I'm just going to show you a snapshot of what SDM is. It's a SaaS platform. It connects with the PIM, but it can be connected to any, again, PIM, pricing system, marketplace system, ERP you are using internally. What you see here is what we call a project. You see the steps here. So SDM is a toolbox of modules. What Aude called steps are actually instances of different modules that have a specified task, and you can combine them into making a workflow. I'm going to show you a demo. That's one arbitrary choice of setting up the platform. It can be completely different. Here, I'm entering the project. I'm seeing what Aude, or what you would be seeing as distributors. So here are all the catalogs I received from my suppliers. You can configure what we call a supplier access. So essentially, if you want to onboard a new brand, so let's say I want to sell phones now. Here you can create a portal. You can assign a category manager or a market leader or a brand manager. You can define the level of access you want to give to the suppliers you're working with. So you can set that on a supplier per supplier basis. If you're working with Apple and you know they have a full content team that is able to do a lot of things for you. You can open them a full access if you're working with a mom and pop, a small business that has a limited amount of resources capable of collaborating with you. You can limit that. You can assign internal collaborators to the platform. So those are the people that will be notified when the brand is working or not. So here you can create an access, and then you can customize the information you are giving to all suppliers or to a specific set of suppliers. You can share templates, guidelines, documents, videos, whatever. Here, it's a PDF that I uploaded that is essentially a guideline describing what we expect from them. It can be contracts, it can be whatever you want. What do they see? So essentially, this is the Apple portal. For now, they will look like an Akeneo product page. In a few months, this will be customizable, and you will be able to brand it with your logos and images and so forth. You can customize the video here. So if you wanted to have Aude explaining internally, I mean, not
with
you,
your
but
avatar that you saw this morning.
So to explain what you want to expect to your suppliers, you can do it, or it can be a demo of the product. When we work with distributors, we have a session with you to teach you how to onboard your own suppliers. It's part of the PSA. We do it with you a couple times, so you get the best practices and what we did with Aude and what we did with other customers. We can share on what's the best setup, what to tell your brands, how to reassure them. And we have a set of resources that we can share with you and that you can customize to share with your own set of suppliers. We also give you an access to the Akeneo Academy. We have a supply dedicated course that is online, that they can access, and they can have a link. So here, very, I see a pink screen here, but here I can upload a file. All for the IT people in the room. The portals come with an API endpoint and an SFTP portal, so it's not just manual import, but for the sake of the demo here, because we cannot visualize API, I will upload an Excel. It can be CSVs, it can be XML, it can be GS1 XMLs. We support some industry standards like BME-CAT or FABDIS. You can upload CSVs with data spread across multiple tabs. SDM can join information, make it flat, treat it, push it to the different systems. You can share media. Again, see. If the media that you're sharing respects some guidelines, they will be linked automatically to the products. If not, you can link them later. And here you will be entering the workflow. So you see time is flying. The first steps here is what we call the mapping. Everything we can map automatically. So between the structure of the file we're receiving and the structure of your systems, we will map automatically. If something is not mapped, if you change something on your end, if they change something on their end, we will notify and we'll block the upload, and you will be able to browse through the file that you uploaded and make the mapping properly. You can share guidelines here, give them some help, information on what you expect in order for the process to be smooth. The next step is what we call classification. So here it's into Akeneo families. So here in my file I have 16 products. 14 were classified automatically. I'm just asking to randomly check 2 of them. So you can force the users to manually validate to make sure that they are not just doing it in bulk. If there is an error, you have a CSM an Akeneo CSM that you will meet every quarter or every month or every 2 weeks, whatever you set them with them. And if there is too many errors and so forth, you can customize the prompts yourself for them to perform better. Here, the module that's what Aude called an error report, but it's dynamic. So you're notified on the spot when there is an error, so you can correct it right away, and you are not stuck. in order to save time. So you don't have to download something, correct in Excel, come back, re-upload, and so forth. You do it right here, right now, and once it's done, it's done. As the brand, I can always download what I've shared and the enriched version, so I gain something out of it, and I can reuse it later. So now, as a supplier, I've shared my catalog, and I will reconnect as the supplier, and of course, my password manager doesn't work anymore. And here you will see that the file I've just uploaded is here, and I can resume the work as the distributor where the supplier stopped. There's a module here that checks what's in the PIM, compares, and if there is an update or something that you want to be notified on, makes the comparison between what's in the PIM and what has been uploaded. You can exclude products from the flow for whatever reasons. So you can use it as a selection tool or a controlling tool. Then we can do classification to multiple trees at once. So here I have multiple channels in my Akeneo PIM or in my ERP or whatever. We can classify into trees and classification trees and into multiple at once. So again, 16 products, 14 were automatically validated, and I only have 2 to verify. It's easier and more consistent than human beings because it will apply the same rules over time based on the input that you get. Once all of this is done and my products are in the right categories and families, what you want to make sure is that based on the descriptions and the rich text, and soon the assets, media, security sheets, PDFs that are shared, you enriched the filters and the facets with the right attributes. So I can look on what was enriched by the AI. There's a small robot here, and you can see that based on what I accept and what I expect in my PIM, the right value was enriched from somewhere around here. So this is the color. So of course it's a simple example because it's a demo, but this AI speaks multiple languages, is familiar with synonyms, can make comparisons. So it's not just blue into blue. You can be more complex examples than that. Once this is done, we have a way of manually verifying and formatting information from what was shared in the file and making sure it's mapped the correct with what you expect in the PIM as well. So you have automated enrichment, and then you can have manual formatting and validation. And again, here you can see it's the same module as before, but in your hands now, that is going to check all the errors from the PIM and the rule engine that you've set up in SDM, making sure that everything is fitting with your requirements and your business logic. Once the demo effect is, yeah, okay, it's working. Whew. So here I have some warnings. They are yellow, which means I can ignore it. You can have blocking warnings. You can set up rules. And here you can see, sorry, I forgot to show you something. So I'm missing an image. I can take a peek, take a look at the assets I uploaded at the beginning and find maybe one that was not mapped, and add it manually. I will ignore all of this because it's a demo, but once it's done, we're sending the information in the PIM. You can connect multiple systems to SDM, and we can slice the information depending on the system we want to feed. So we can send product, marketing, content, technical information to the PIM, and at the same time, pricing, packaging, weights, prices to the ERP or the pricing system, and you can have multiple, what we call destinations connected to SDM at the same time. It was a lot of talking.
And in that lot of talking, you snuck in 2 announcements on roadmap.
Did
Not
I?
sure if everyone caught it. So just going back to that, Jess, what are the major investments for 2025 when it comes to Supplier Data Manager?
Yes, the major investment is we want you to be able to manage the product update the life cycle of your products. So once you get an update from a supplier or from multiple suppliers, we want you to be able to see the updated version, the updated information, select the value you want to keep or ignore or reject, and import the right information into your system. From one supplier or from multiple suppliers. This is what we're working right now. I will not make any commitment on dates and guidelines because the product team is right there with a baseball bat. But this is, I've seen the first draft and mock-ups a few weeks ago, and it's going to be released soon. Then we will, once this foundation is live, we will invest into collaboration so you can communicate in-app with your suppliers. So tell them, hey Mark, I'm missing the weight of the package, so I cannot deliver it. Please update it. That will be the follow-up. And we're going to invest into replicating I will not commit on a solution as well because baseball bat stuff, but a listing view for your suppliers to be able to manage and see the assortment that is live within your own systems, so they can manage product per product and edit things. Then there will be what we call the secondary improvements. So using the assets as a source of enrichment. SSO will be released by the end of March. This is currently in QA, and I'm probably forgetting things.
That was a lot more than two things you snuck in, but looking forward to that roadmap for 2025.
Yeah.
So you have the clicker actually.
Yes. Do you have any questions?
Yeah. Are there any questions from the crowd?
I have one question, how do you see SDM positioning a bit upstream in the supply chain, like we're a manufacturing company and we're also dealing with suppliers?
Yes. So of course, the aim at distributor is a marketing play, and that's how we market the solution. But we have actually manufacturers using it to import raw information or parts. For instance, if you're lucky enough to go to Unlock Chicago, you could see Steelcase testifying on how they use it for collecting the. So Steelcase, for those who don't know, they manufacture chairs, office desks, furnitures, and they use it to import like the fabrics of the seats and tables and stuff like that.
For the reviews online? Because I have reviews right now on. So basically, I send a link to all the partners on how was their experience on SDM, not reviews online. Yeah. I get what you mean. Right now, I'm going to be transparent. We are too small to go through all the reviews. And actually, I don't have that much review on Zalando on the different products that I launch. So I don't do a lot of review search of all the products because every season for us is 2,000 products, all brands included. So the team right now is too small to go through all the reviews, but I don't need right now to see the reviews to see how it helped on the performance, because I can see.
Did you know we announced something called PX Insight
Yeah,
this
I know.
morning?
I know. So that's why it's interesting for me now, because I don't have time to do it. But I do a lot of different analysis, mainly on the average number of product per orders, the return rate, and I look as well at the time to market that I have. So this is the thing that I track. Right now, don't track that much the review, but I do track more like the conversion rate. And actually, when I started at the agent, we were not doing a lot of enrichment, and we were doing the minimum at the beginning, and we evolved so much on it. And you can see, I could see the difference through the different KPIs over time. But yeah, it's right now, I don't do the review.
So you take data out PDFs?
So it will. The PDF attribute enrichment feature is being tested on the PIM site right now, and it's something that has been developed by the AI team. So we're consuming the same API. So we're kind of looking at what our PIM product team neighbors are doing, and then we'll copy and paste.
I do believe we're out of time for this session. If there are any more questions, yeah, you can always find
Well, yeah,
Jess and myself.
you can come afterwards.
Yeah, on the floor here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was very great welcoming you here.
Yeah, it's good to be here, and I hope you enjoyed the session as much as I enjoy working with the team on SDM. So yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so
you.
much.